I'd like to bring back Michal from our Poland chapter. Michal will be presenting some work that he's been doing recently on mountain areas.
Thank you, Sebastien. It's a huge pleasure and honor to be here. A bridge too far is an idiom inspired by Operation Market Garden, meaning an act of overreaching. So I use this first to show that improving transport accessibility in some areas may be a negation what we understand as sustainable development. So let me show you one example from my research, recent research from the Everest area, and a bit old one from Annapurna area, which I conducted in 2013 and repeated in 2023. Overall, Everest Base Camp start from Lukla, and then you should walk for 10 days or 15 days. It depends on your condition and acclimatization process, from one village to another, and enjoy the journey and spend some money. However, now it's a little bit different. So we use in-depth interviews for this study. I was accompanied by a very good friend of mine, Susil Dotel. The research was conducted at the altitude of 2,800 to 5,000 meters in the Everest region. The main idea was to give the voice to the local people. So the main respondents were from village of Lukla, but for fuller understanding of the topic, residents of other higher lying locations were additionally interviewed. So I divided the results into two parts. Let's start with the idea of road development. Road accessibility can significantly improve the quality of life for residents. It is mainly about reducing cost of living, which is high due to the remoteness of the place, and tourism. So in case of both, it's cost of transporting goods or higher prices, which may lead to inflation in the destination, making it hard for local to gain and or to retain economic independence. So, however, both Lukla and Upper Village residents present their position very strongly, saying if the road is built, we'll lose everything. And they have a reason for that statement. I recently visited the Annapurna area. Almost all tourists choose jeeps to drive up the mountain. Hardly anyone walks. Ben Skach in his thesis, and I also in my work, wrote about it, about this risk a few years ago, but no one listened. Tourists passing villages, and some hotels, restaurants are already closed. What is more, even drivers are not happy with the road development. One even mentioned to us that I make money, but people lose, including my family. It must, however, be mentioned that there is a whispered acceptance of the creation of the road, but with the firm statement that it should be prevented from being developed further, that is above the village of Lukla. So the other part is the helicopter transportation. All the respondents point out that helicopters have changed the structure of tourism traffic, and now it is, as one respondent mentioned, one-way business. This is happening because a large percent of tourism make their way back by helicopter, respondents indicate directly because the helicopters, we are losing jobs. Other person said, there is hardly any wild animals here, and this is the national park. And frankly speaking, for 20 days, we haven't seen any wild animals. And as our respondent mentioned, this is the national park where the animals should be protected. Helicopters also disturb the spiritual atmosphere of the region. Respondents, and this is not only monks, point to the huge noise. One monk said helicopters even fly over the monasteries during ceremonies, and most of the people highlight the number of flights and their increasing trend. At the same time, the respondents acknowledged the positive function of helicopters, for example, medical rescue, both in case of tourism and tourist accidents, and the need to transport local people to the hospital. However, they point out one key issue, that the companies proving the service are profit driven. So always the tourism comes first. Let's move to the final part of my presentation. The research demonstrates the threats to the local communities from the transport development and improved transport accessibility of peripheral area that profits from its peripherality. The people mentioned that, most of the people mentioned that we can try block the helicopters, but the road, when it's built, we won't be able to block. As you can see, this is a serious problem. Now you can fly to Everest Base Camp, take a picture for Instagram or whatever social media you have, and back at the same day. By purpose, I deleted the name of the companies, so I don't want to make an advertisement for those people. But you can see that the problem is quite serious. So this is the model I elaborated, and let me just explain briefly what it means. So we have 4 stages. At the stage first, most of the trekking is done on foot. Tourists stay in the most of the villages located along the road, which profit from tourism. Second stage, most of the trekking is done also on foot. Only connection between the arrival point and the last village is done by car or air. This makes the last city much more developed and expands the tourist base. Tourists stay in the most of the villages located along the road, which profit from tourism. So stage third, with transport development, most of the tourists still travel on foot, but only one way. The return journey is partly no longer made on foot. The transport business is becoming more one way. Local people losing out and the transport companies are gaining. And finally, stage 4, there is an increasing development of transport. Only a small number of tourists travel one way on foot. The return journey on foot is covered by individual, and the tourism business becomes almost entirely one way. Local people are losing out, and the transport companies practically take over take over the market. So the results shows that the Everest Base Camp Pokhara is practically at the stage 3. When the road is developed, Lukla may lose the status of the last easy accessible town. Currently, the return road is mostly by helicopters. According to our respondents, 60 or 70% of the people returning using this way, so helicopter transportation. Eliminating the return of healthy tourists by helicopter and no expansion of the road above the village of Lukla will return to the stage 2, and such a return to the stage 2 could be a graduation for the region, as outlined by Butler in his model. So otherwise, all local people will lose. So the same thing is happening on Everest area as on Annapurna, what I show you already. We have to change what Hegel said. History teach us that men learn nothing from history. Otherwise, we will be lost. And I want to finish with Ernest Grain's words. Words mean nothing. Action is the only thing. Doing, that is the only thing. But after all, our doing is writing, so using words. However, with the group of people from tracking agencies and local people, we are trying to do something in that matter. So please wish us luck. Thank you very much. And if you have any question or comments, you're welcome, or you can contact me directly using my email address. Thank you very much.
That's a great presentation. We have one Mihai in the chat saying, in various countries like France and Austria, heli skiing is illegal. And in France, that started in the mid-80s. Mihai, would you like to elaborate a little bit more on that? And then we can get Michal's response. Or Michal, if you want to just respond. Do you see like enacting legislation, making helicopters for non-emergency transport illegal? Do you see that as a viable option? Do you think that could happen? How effective is pressure from the local people? What do they need in order to, stop the road development and stop some of these harmful practices from continuing?
So to be honest, no one is listening to them. I visited this Annapurna area after 10 years after we've done research over there. And can you imagine that some people remember me and my friend? Maybe not from the face, but when we start asking some question during the conversation, we just learned that actually no one since 2013 have been there and asked them what they actually think. And we asked several people, and all of them mentioned that they are very disappointed with the road. And of course, we cannot stop the road because it's a development. The development might be easy, but at least they should ban, for example, tourists who travel by jeep. And also what you and Mihai point that these helicopters fly. This is like killing machine for this region. And I couldn't find an answer, other than corruption, why it's even possible. Because the people are losing money, the environment is suffering, no animals, even the monks, which have this very strong and influential community in Nepal, and they cannot do nothing. So it's seriously something wrong over there. And now we are trying to find some reporter who will write about it in some national media, just to start talking about, because what I notice and seen on Everest, on Annapurna area, there is a lot of restaurants, hotel permanently closed. It's not like they close weekend or whatever, permanently closed. And the new hotels actually are building up, because there is an easiest way right now to transport all goods. And of course, the hotels are better quality, and tourists still always want to have a better quality. So they are choosing the big hotels, new hotels, where capital and owners is probably from the Kathmandu or other big city, or even from abroad. So the local people have no chance, because they invest a lot of money since decades. Sometimes they build the businesses for generation, and now they have no chance to survive.
And Matteo, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, yes, but it goes a bit in the same problem. I was just thinking of like maybe best practices we have in Switzerland for like certain mountain regions that are only accessible through public transport. I think like that's a legislation problem again, and if you don't have like a government interested in such solutions, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I will just mention one thing. I was living on Jersey Island for a year, and this is the island in the Channel Canal, belong to England, and you cannot buy anything over there if you don't have if you don't stay there and work there for years. So this is the solution are already, someone just found it, and here you can just start something if you have some money, and now it's easy to start a new hotel, new restaurant, whatever. I remember we asked one guy how because now usually European people, we want to have a good coffee, good quality coffee, so they have to transport the huge machines for espresso, for proper coffee, and I asked how much was this machine, how much he spent to transport this to almost 4,500 meters, and he said that it was like triple than the cost of the machine. Now you can just take a jeep, and it's so easy. So it's very difficult for those people. Well, I think I already take too much time, so but thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.